Today's subject, we're going to deal with some acronyms that my daughter wants to understand. Hi, I'm Jeff Banks, the founder of Banks Consultancy, and these are our tidbits of the day. And today we're going to talk a couple of acronyms that you've found in the book that you don't particularly understand or you think should mean something else.
First one is APRA. I thought that was the Australian Performance Rights Association.
Well, being the musician that you are quite right. That's what APRA can mean for the entertainers of this world. The Australian Performing Rights Association looks after their rights, and for people who have music on hold on their telephones, they may very well have had a little run-in with that particular APRA, asking them to pay money every time they play a song written by an Australian. But for tax purposes, APRA tends to deal with the Australian Prudential Regulation Association, which is the group that looks after particularly superannuation funds. Now, it creates all sorts of rules, but over the last couple of years, it's been transferred between APRA and the Australian Taxation Office as to who regulates how superannuation funds work. Now, superannuation for you is something that's way in the future because
way in the future.
Because you can't access any money from your superannuation fund unless there are particular catastrophes that might happen in your life until you're at least 55. Now that's a little way away.
A little bit.
So, but APRA from a tax point of view is what makes us deal with our superannuation funds. It also deals with life insurance companies, banks, building societies and credit unions and all those other financial type institutions to make sure that everybody follows the rules and we have a level playing field. So what was the other one you wanted to talk about?
The other one was cola. I thought that was just a drink.
No, COLA in tax stands for the cost of living adjustment. That tends to talk about things like inflation. So if something cost us $1 yesterday, but it cost us $1.10 today, the cost of living adjustment is 10%. Now that's very important when it comes to the national wage case, where people go to the courts and say, look, we need a increase in our pay because the cost of living has gone up. The cost of living adjustment's gone up by, say, 3% over the last year. Then unless I get an increase in my pay of 3%, my actual real earning capacity has gone backwards. So the cost of living adjustment is very important for those sorts of things. It's also very important when we talk about things like in capital gains tax, working out what the real cost of something, say, 10 years ago was compared to the real cost of things today. We use the cost of living adjustment or the CPI index to work out the difference in what money was worth then versus what money's worth now. Okay, so is that reasonably clear?
Makes sense.
Makes sense, okay. If you want to talk about any of these sorts of things, either you're a young person getting along or you're an older person heading to, say, transition to retirement, contact us here at Banks Consultancy and one of our trained consultants will run through those sorts of things for you. Or even better, we have a book. It's on our website.
On our website, yes.
Which is at
www.banksconsultancy.com.au.
And you'll find the book about a little bit down below the fold of the page. Look at that, using technical terms now, below the fold of the page, which you can then click on. It's there for free. You can have a look at all these different acronyms and things that we've put in there, as well as the lovely illustrations by Kirsten, and just see some of those things that you might hear along the way and be able to put real names to from a tax or a business point of view. I'm Jeff Banks from Banks Consultancy, and we are not your ordinary accountants.